Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns and India's G20 presidency in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute, Center for Arts, Sciences and Health. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World IBD Day. It is dedicated to raising awareness of inflammatory bowel diseases, that is in short known as IBD Day, inflammatory bowel diseases. So Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis are the two most common types of IBD. They are chronic inflammatory conditions that affect our digestive tracts. The European Federation of Crohn's and Ulcerative Colitis Associations, in short known as EFCCA, coordinates the patient organizations representing more than 50 countries. They started day in 2010 to support the fight against inflammatory bowel diseases, raise awareness of the diseases and promote research and studies in the field. IBD cannot be cured. With proper treatment and medication, it is possible to significantly control inflammation and increase the period of remission. Inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD for short, is a class of diseases that affect the digestive tract. The two main types of IBD are ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Ulcerative colitis affects the colon or large intestine, whereas Crohn's disease can affect any part of the gastrointestinal tract. Both conditions can manifest with inflammation and sores. Diarrhea, Rectal bleeding, weight loss, fatigue, and abdominal pain are a few of the symptoms of these conditions. IBD is usually not fatal, but it can create complicated health conditions that can be dangerous and life-threatening. The exact causes of IBD are not fully known to the doctors. At first, diet and stress were thought to be the causes of the disease, but it is now proven that these can only aggravate the condition, but they are not the direct causes. An immune response or hereditary may be the culprit. Research suggests that the inflammation might be due to our immune systems reacting to harmless microbes or food inside our digestive tracts. Hereditary, genetic, and environmental factors might also play a part in the cause of the disease. Some of the risk factors include family history, race, ethnicity, and lifestyle. Most people are diagnosed with IBD before 30 years of age. However, for some people, it is only diagnosed by the time they are 50 or 60. Anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen can increase the risk of disease or worsen the disease in some people. Colon cancer, inflammation in joints, scarring with bile ducts, and blood clots are a few of risk factors of IBD. So the first description was given by Sir Samuel Wilkes, and Dr. Walter Moxon described ulcerative colitis and differentiate it from diarrheal diseases caused by infectious agents in 1875. Burrill Kron, Leon Ginsberg, and Jordan D. Oppenheimer used the first description of Crohn's disease in 1932. The discovery of mesalamine, a long-term efficient and safe treatment of ulcerative colitis, was given, and the development of mesalamine in 1977. The World IBD Day, EFCCA starts World IBD Day to raise awareness about IBD in 2010. The root cause of IBD is still unknown. It is assumed that it may be a result of defective immune system. Race, age, ethnicity, food habits, and genetics can also affect the condition. IBD is a common term for a group of health conditions that affect the digestive tract. Research suggests that chronic inflammation is not due to immune system attacking the body itself. Research shows that between 5 to 20% of the people with IBD have a direct relative who also has the disease. There are millions of people suffering from some form of IBD. Try to create a support group for them in your locality. If there is already a group, join them and volunteer for their activities. Use a purple ribbon to show your support and care for the living with IBD. Distribute the ribbon to your friends and family and inform them about the importance of the day and the complications of IBD. So wear pink, blue, and yellow ribbons to create awareness. Encourage others to do the same as you then educate them on the importance of the day. Statistics show that there are 3 million Americans who suffer from some type of inflammatory bowel disease. Around 7 million Americans suffer from some type of inflammatory bowel disease. Crohn's disease was initially called regional colitis. Patients diagnosed with IBD have gradually increased over the last 20 years. IBD is more common among white and Jewish people compared to others. A lack of awareness can be dangerous. This day is perfect for sharing information about the condition that can make life easier. For a few people suffering from IBD, raising awareness can also help bring support to those suffering from it. IBD can seriously affect the quality of people. People suffering from it will have to go through the inflammation that occurs frequently. The day has the potential to generate significant momentum and energy for much needed medical research in the field. Early diagnosis is the key to reducing the severity and effects of IBD. If treated in time, the condition go into the remission and be controlled. World Family Doctor Day is commemorated today on May 19th every year, founded by the World Organization of Family Doctors, in short known as WONCA, in 2010. World Family Doctor has grown into a global celebration of the importance of family doctors in healthcare. Taking part in this event is a great way to show appreciation for the important role family medicine plays in providing patients with individualized, comprehensive, and long-term healthcare. Family doctors around the world have made significant contributions to the medicine. Now it's a time to recognize that it's also a moment to recognize the advancements in family medicine and the unique efforts of primary care teams worldwide. It all started in 1933 in Georgia with the establishment of first ever Doctors' Day celebration. Eduro Brown Almond, wife of Dr. Charles B. Almond, a prominent physician, was largely responsible for the conception of this occasion. She decided to set aside this day to recognize and honor doctors and physicians around the world for their dedication and the hard work in achieving medical excellence. In 1934, her plan was approved by the Georgia State Medical Alliance. It was officially implemented for the first time on May 10, 1934. It was at this point that the long-standing tradition of sending cards and gifts to doctors and their families on this special day began. Even though the function of doctors has become even more crucial in times we live in it, we just as important in the past as it is today. As a result, this gesture was widely praised and appreciated. George Bush, who was a US president at that time, went on to proclaim this day a national holiday in America. Organized yearly within a theme, this important day commemorates, celebrates the advancements in family medicine and acknowledges the hard work and devotion of all family physicians worldwide. It seeks to recognize and honor family doctors, praise their morale, and highlight key concerns and related to their job in promoting healthcare for people around the world. So there is a growing shift towards specialization in many fields of medicine, from general medicine to family medicine since 1920s. The practice of family medicine flourishes and prospers since 1970s. It has large residency program. Family medicine has the third largest medical residency program since early 1980s. And the World Organization of Family Doctors finally declares World Family Doctor Day to give all family doctors the recognition they deserve in 2010. In addition to being trained to practice general medicine, family physicians also receive specialized training in family medicine. They earn their Doctor of Medicine degrees from recognized universities, followed by specialized post-graduation education in family practice, which is received through a 2-year residency program. The services provided by family physicians who operate in community settings are diverse. They provide, among other things, routine examinations such as well baby and child care, health risk assessments, vaccines, screening tests, healthy lifestyle counseling, and written treatment of common chronic illness. Specializations available to family practice physicians include sports medicine, emergency care, and urgent care, as well as the public health and the public health education. These doctors provide general care and, when necessary, consult with other specialists. So patients who see their primary care physicians regularly and over a long period are taken care of than those who don't. A long-term relationship with the physician means that he or she gets to know your family and your healthcare needs, Because your family doctor keeps your medical records, he or she can better organize your care, thus improving a patient-doctor relationship. So since the role of family doctors in the community cannot be underestimated, it will be nice to organize events and activities to commemorate the occasion in your locality. So you should include your family doctor in the celebration to show him or her your appreciation. If you are a family doctor, you can organize events with your colleagues. This day offers the chance to recognize the contributions and accomplishments of family doctors all over the world. So family medicine is widely regarded as the most adaptable of all physician disciplines, providing complete medical treatment to men and women of all ages. Family medicine is a multi-purpose specialty in the sense that doctors provide care in various places, from office settings and hospitals to inpatient facilities and health centers. Prevention services and better chronic illness management are two of many ways family doctors take care of health of the communities. Having a family doctor can help lessen health inequalities in populations that don't have easy access to hospitals and basic healthcare services. Doctors specializing in family medicine know best how to plan various health services. They have a better understanding of what a community needs, epidemiological patterns, and variances in available resources. And family doctors are dedicated to providing long-term care for you and your loved ones. They identify and treat as you as a whole person, not simply as a creative with separate organs. They are your initial point of contact with the healthcare system. Patients receive care from their family doctors, not only in their offices, but also in a variety of settings such as hospitals, clinics, and even at patients' homes. The function of family doctors in the medical system is distinctive. Family doctors, as primary care physicians, are prepared to handle any health issue, including preventive care. Having a primary care physician is beneficial to your well-being. Studies have shown that individuals who have a good relationship with their primary care physician are more likely to have better health outcomes. Family doctors collaborate or consult with specialists and other healthcare providers to give patient-centered care. To keep from getting sick, they also give importance to your efforts to stay healthy. Today is also commemorated as Walk Safely to School in Australia, which involves primary children being encouraged to walk to school safely, which was established by Pedestrian Council of Australia. It was first held in New South Wales in 1999 and later became a national event in 2004. This day aims to develop exercise routines for children, promote increased intake of nutrient-dense diets, and cause a positive environmental action by decreasing carbon emissions from driving to school. The key aim, however, is to familiarize young children with road safety rules. Elementary or primary education refers to the first stage of formal education, preceding secondary education. This level of schooling strives to equip students with fundamental reading, writing, and mathematical skills while creating a foundation for future education. Primary education is as old as formal education itself. Modern primary schooling is now the first stage of compulsory education in many parts of the world. Often this stage of schooling is available to the public free of cost, though more expensive private schooling remains an option for the affluent. The term primary school was first used in 1802 and today aims to equip students with the fundamental skills in literacy, arithmetic, and often morality. At this stage of schooling, educators make the most effect in inculcating what are considered good habits. For example, in Australia, walk safely to school day is that involves primary school children being encouraged to walk to school safely. So its objective is to promote personal, environmental, and health and safety. Walking to school would improve your overall well-being as walking is a healthy exercise with plenty of benefits. A child in a primary school should walk 2 or 3 miles to school. Unless there are any underlying health risk for the individual, 1 mile too far to walk to the school. So if you have a child, prepare them to walk to school, map out routes with them, make sure your child is ready to walk outside safely. Try to review traffic rules with them. Though driving to school is far more comfortable, help your child understand the environmental impact they would be making by curbing carbon emissions. Let them appreciate why they are walking to school. And walking is most popular exercise in the US. The average walking speed is 3.1 miles per hour. On an average, a person walks about 65,000 miles during their lifetime. Walking helps boost your mood by increasing blood flow to the brain. Walking about 10 miles per week rather than traveling by a vehicle would save 500 pounds of carbon dioxide emissions each year. So walking instead of commuting to school will inculcate the habit of physical activity in a child's life. This habit would be tremendously beneficial to the individual's overall health. So fewer gas emissions translate to a healthier environment. Walks are fun and environmental friendly. In addition, walk safely to school day also helps children learn traffic safety rules. Today is also commemorated as Virtual Assistance Day. This day is all about expressing gratitude for all the virtual assistants too. Often the unsung heroes in the workplace, virtual assistants provide clients with managerial, organizational, and personal assistant services, typically on a freelance basis. So we recognize the dedication, tenacity, and hard work of virtual assistants around the world. One of the day's goals is to raise professional knowledge of the benefits of using a virtual assistant. The efforts and hard work of virtual assistants are also recognized on this day. During the 1940s, the rise of virtual assistants began a long and complicated transformation. After the shorthand method was developed by Sir Isaac Pitman, secretarial work became alluring. When religious conservatism still prohibited women from working in the office, Pitman launched the first school for secretarial services, which admitted only men. With the introduction of typewriter, women admittance into the secretarial services was made possible. By the 19th century, technology had evolved to the point that it enabled economic transactions even thousands of kilometers away. In 1996, life coach Thomas Leonard and Anastasia Stacy Bryce coined the term virtual assistants. Bryce embodied new job market by working from home for an international client. She used the internet to deliver services and referred to her as a virtual assistant, which became the definition of a growing and exciting career. Christine Dutt, a virtual assistant pioneer, published The Second Commute in 1995, describing it as a revolutionary way of working from home. Dutt encouraged professionals to use the internet to follow their passions and earn a living. Virtual assistants, when compared to a full-time employee, can save business up to 78% in operational expenditures. Virtual assistants come from all over the world, bringing a wide range of experiences and perspectives to the table. Many virtual assistants are over the age of 35 and they bring a wide spectrum of expertise and experience to the table. Various varieties of virtual assistants are available, each tailored to a specific sector. Working as a virtual assistant offers the most freedom and flexibility. People who prefer to work from home can, but others choose to use co-working spaces for their business needs. It maximizes your work efficiency. It gives room for flexibility, and top-tier professionals are utilized with virtual assistants. You have access to the best talent available, with many of the top personal assistants making the jump to becoming virtual assistants because of the advantage it provides. There is a large pool of skilled virtual assistants available for hire. Today is also commemorated as Plant Something Day in US. Any plant that grows would suffice. During this day, local businesses like nurseries and landscapers usually host community events to plant in public spaces together. People can plant at home, in schools, in parks, in other community gardens. The planting initiates help to protect the environment and enhance the beauty of public spaces. It is an opportunity to encourage more people to add to the vegetation in our environment. It has been established that about 80% of the original forests of Earth have been cleared or destroyed. About 8,000 years ago, forests dominated the land before human activities affected them. These days, crops are mass produced by farmers who farm certain crops because of them can be grown quickly. Being able to produce crops that are easier and inexpensive allows them to turn to a bigger profit. This means that people have to rely on the plants that are more easily available. Majority of the most healthy plants are not available to consumers because they are not or they may not be as profitable for farmers to produce on a large scale. There are more than 80,000 edible plant species. However, 90% of the food we eat comes from only about 30 plants. This makes the human diet more limited than it has to be. There are many plants that are used for medicine in different parts of the world. Both traditional and modern medicine make use of about 70,000 plant species to treat various ailments. Despite that, there is not enough protection for plants. Only about 10% of the world's plants-rich areas are protected to make sure that more plant species can survive. So this day is to encourage more people to grow plants around them. This helps to boost the number of plants in the environment. It also gives people an opportunity to grow some plant species that may not be able to access easily. Some plants, such as poison ivy, produce irritants that can cause allergic reactions. There are some plants that are dangerous to eat. And there are also plants like Venus flytrap eat insects and spiders to get nutrients, which are carnivorous. And fertilizers are added to the soil to help plants grow. And you can take time to plant something around you. It can be flowers, herbs, fruits, or vegetables. You can share seeds with the people around you. Giving them seeds will encourage them to plant. Plants need water to survive. Give some water to the plants around you to help them. It is estimated that about 68% of the plants are in danger of extinction. Climate change has increased risks of going extinct. And cutting down trees for human use reduces the number of forests we have left. And deforestation is also a problem. Environmental and human factors contribute to plants dying faster than they would naturally. Plants are dying faster, and plants are more vulnerable than animals since they can't migrate when their habitat is destroyed. So plants are not only beautiful, they are also important. Plants help to absorb toxins in the air, which reduces carbon emissions. Plants have a way of making people happy, whether they are being eaten or just looked at. They create aesthetically pleasing landscapes and beautify any room. So today is also celebrated as Savitri Amavasya, which is observed on no moon day of Jyeshta Masa, the third month of Hindu calendar, falls between May and June. And this day is observed in some states of North India and country of Nepal. This festival is also known as Savitri Uvans in some parts and states of Odisha. So on this day, married Hindu women in the states of Odisha, Bihar, and Uttar Pradesh fast and pray for their husbands for a long life. This fasting is religious and is considered a vow among these women. Savitri Amavasya is a day of fasting observed on the Amavasya or no moon day in the Hindu month of Jyeshta. This month is third month of Hindu calendar, falls between May to June. The day of the no moon changes every year. So on this day, married women in the North Indian states of Odisha, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, as well as in the country of Nepal and other parts of India and abroad in the world, maintain a fast. According to their beliefs, the fast is a vow that strengthens the pair for their husbands to live long lives. The day and fast gets its name from Savitri, one half of the legendary couple, Savitri and Satyavan in Hindu mythology. There are many stories of Savitri and Satyavan, but the oldest stories are from the Sanskrit epic, the Mahabharata. According to the stories, Savitri was born to King Ashwapati of Madra Kingdom, which was likely in the modern Indian state of Maharashtra. Savitri chooses Satyavan, the son of the blind king Dyumastena, to be her husband. Savitri's father was informed that Satyavan was destined to die in a year. He tries to convince her to choose another man, but she refuses. The fast is based on the same fast that Savitri observed for 3 days before Satyavan's predicted death. When the god of death, Yama, appears to be Satyavan's soul, he is impressed by the Savitri's fast as well as her eloquent speech. He offers her anything she would like, except Satyavan's life. Savitri wishes for her and Satyavan to have 100 children. Impressed by her intelligence, the god of death allows her to wish for Satyavan's life, and Yama grants his life back. So, Gustav Holst composes an opera on Savitri. Holst, a composer in England, composes a chamber opera on Savitri on his Opus 25 in 1960. The philosopher Sri Aurobindo writes an epic poem in the blank verse about Savitri based on the story of her devotion in 1950. A group called 2002 based their music album on Savitri and Satyavan's story and titled it Savitri, and the music album was released in 1995. So unmarried women also keep the fast to pray for a good husband and also their future husband's long life. Apart from Savitri Amavasya fast, Karva Chauth is also kept for long life of one's husband. And Vat Savitri is celebrated by the women observing a fast for their husbands till the afternoon, praying to Savitri, listening to the story of Savitri and Satyavan, and feasting. If you are married, And in the area, the women of Odisha, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and other North Indian states will welcome your participation in the rituals, keeping the fast, participate in the worship, and join the feast in the afternoon. Savitri Amavasya is a great day to read about Savitri and Satyavan. Pick up a copy of Mahabharata of the Vanaparva and read the story. So share the story of Savitri's dedication and cleverness with everyone. You know, her cleverness is defense of her family is an inspiring story. So in the states of Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat and Karnataka, the fast is observed on Vat Purnima or the full moon in the month of Jeshta. In some places, so it is observed on new moon, and in some places it is observed on the full moon based on the calendars they follow, based on the solar calendar or lunar calendar. So on the day of the fast, married women worship Savitri and dedicate offerings to her. 9 types of flowers and 9 types of fruits are offered to Savitri as part of the rituals. An important part of the rituals associated with Savitri Amavasya is Vratkatha and the story of the fast. The rituals end in the afternoon, after which the women bow to their husbands and the elders in the family before eating their fast meal on the day. So we love Savitri shows for her husband. We also think that Savitri is wise and a great role model. We think it is very impressive how the women have kept these rituals alive for all those years. We appreciate the faith that lead them to keep the fast even today. We think that rituals and stories are important to the culture of the place. We think that celebrating these festivals and keeping this fast helps the culture stay alive. Today is also commemorated as National Mechanical Dry Eye Day in United States to raise awareness about the age-related disorder of the eye. It is one of the most prevalent age-related disorders, is commonly found in those over 60. The condition is identified by the presence of extra conjunctival folds which are between the eyeball and eyelids. The lower eyelid is typically affected by the condition. This disrupts the natural flow of tears and eye drops, weakening the tear film, delaying tear clearance and causing dry eye. It was founded by BioTissue in 2020 to raise awareness about the mechanical dry eye, one of the most disregarded and often misdiagnosed eye conditions. Mechanical dry eye is an age-related ophthalmology disorder that affects up to 98% of the patients of 60 years or older. The organization behind National Mechanical Dry Eye Day, BioTissue Inc., deals with clinical application of cryopreserved amniotic membrane-based products to treat eye diseases and disorders. This organization was established in 1997, committed to fulfilling the unmet demand for better surgical and therapeutic alternatives for helping eye care professionals quickly identify eye disorders and their proper treatments. They are also pioneers in the treatment of rare eye diseases such as keratitis, recurrent corneal erosions, conjunctivitis, and pterygium and dry eye. These mechanical dry eye symptoms can include dryness or redness, excessive tears from a blocked tear duct, sensitivity loss, or pain in the eye. Excess tearing is one of the earliest symptoms of the damage. Patients with mechanical dry eyes may find it to be a serious worry, and blinking provides no relief. The Tenon's capsule, which is part of the lower eyelid, might deteriorate as a result of mechanical dry eye and stop the eye from retaining tears. This includes that the patient is unable to control his or her drying, and this can also lead to dry, itchy irritation that is resistant to common treatments, including artificial tears, anti-inflammatory medications, and punctual occlusion. Mechanical dry eye is often overlooked and underdiagnosed by ophthalmologists and hopes to help more people prepare for the disorder as they advance in age. There are two main subtypes of dry eye disease: aqueous deficiency and evaporative, which may coexist. Currently, there is no permanent cure for the dry eye disease. However, a number of options can help maintain moisture in the eyes to reduce symptoms and protect vision. So get your eyes checked. By getting your eyes checked, early diagnosis of mechanical dry eyes can facilitate effective and speedy treatment. Eyes can multitask. They can focus on 50 different objects at one time. The only organ more complex than eye is the brain. We can differentiate up to 10 million colors to be precise. And omatophobia is the fear of eyes having two different eye colors is known as heterochromia. So more than 90% of the elderly people will be affected by mechanical dry eyes. Is a reminder to take care of our eyes and seek treatment when necessary. So the increased awareness of eye condition ensures that both doctors and eye technicians do not misdiagnose. Today is also commemorated as National Endangered Species Day. Animal lovers and conservationists unite on this day, and this is day to consider dwindling population of certain animals and work together to help. Environmental conservation didn't gain traction until mid-1800s. America's Endangered Species Act of 1973 sparked both domestic and international conservation by providing a framework for protection. Even today, some remain critical of human efforts to make the world more habitable for endangered animals. They argue that natural selection should divide which species live or die. But let's remember that humans have unprecedented effect on the planet, which can have negative consequences on the lives of other animals. There are thousands of charitable organizations dedicated to conserving endangered species, and they all could use your help. These organizations exist at national, local levels, as well as you can choose how far and wide your money goes. If you can spare the time, find a nature center near you and volunteer. Take the opportunity to learn something new about this wonderful planet we live on and learn how to make sure it is in good shape for the future. Most nature centers offer helpful literature, and those who work there are always ready for a chance to talk about their work. If you are interested, volunteering could turn into a regular hobby. Take time on National Endangered Species Day to see for yourself what's the natural world look like right in your backyard. See if you can stop or spot all the creatures that make their homes with you and try to figure out the best way to help your local ecosystem. Every animal is a vital link in its own respective food chain. Removing any link has disastrous effects on other animals, humans, and the planet in general. The key is making sure that human history continues is to make sure we live on a healthy planet. And in order to do that, we must allow other animals to live and thrive along with us. The pesticide DDT once posed a threat to America's bald eagle population. The US banned DDT in 1972. The Endangered Species Act took effect in a year later. Bald eagles recovered by 2007 and no longer occupy a spot on the endangered list. So when it comes to studying disease or biology or natural history, it's not enough to study fossils and other humans. Studying the animals who share our planet allows to form a deeper understanding of the way life works. If a species goes extinct, there is no real way for us to truly understand how they impacted the planet. After all, dodo saliva could have been utilized as a natural antidepressant, but since they all died out of several centuries ago, we will never know for certain. Today is also commemorated as National Defense Transportation Day in US, commemorates the transportation services in the US. The United States Federal Observance Day, but is not a public holiday as all business are open and running. Any society's infrastructure and operations depend heavily on its transportation sectors. Not only do the appropriate transportation service saves time and money for the general population, but also provide better living standards for the entire country. The day aims to highlight the transportation sector workers' dedication to their professions. There are several activities lined up during the day, from special recognition events to school contests. So the National Defense Transportation Day was first signed into a resolution in 1957 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Then in 1962, Congress updated the resolution by announcing a National Defense Transportation Week in May. The week falls on different days each year, depending on when the third Friday of May takes place. The day aims to celebrate the various societal contributions of the transportation sector. In President Lyndon B. Johnson's 1968 speech, he credited the country's rapid progress and growth to its transportation system. The president took note to mention that 100 years ago, it took the average American 4 weeks to travel from San Francisco to New York. The concerned traveler would have to travel to Central America by ship crossing the isthmus on a mule wagon. However, developments in the transportation cut the traveling time down to just 10 days. And much of the American economy is dependent on the transportation sector. And this is not only because of the common person's regular usage of the services, but because of building and maintenance costs that the sector incurs each year. The transportation services must always be kept up to date in order for them to work efficiently. Additionally, the operating personnel must be adequately compensated for their day in and day out services to society at large. Therefore, to recognize the importance of transportation sector, special ceremonies, transport expos, contests are held. Today is also National Bike to Work Day in US. To commute as this day aims to incentivize us to switch our regular commute with bikes, and we are thankful for it. Another key element to this celebration is the emphasis of safety awareness for cyclists and other communities. And today is also commemorated as National Barber Mental Health Awareness Day. Was created to ensure that we are remembering to return the question to check in with our barbers, as they so often check in on us. Barbers work intimately with multiple people every day, dealing with different energies and personalities all the time. It is not uncommon for a customer to unload their personal struggles onto their barber, and that can be a heavy burden to carry, especially if the barber is having a bad day themselves. So, recent times have seen a growing recognition for the unique role that barbers can take on in helping people with their mental health. One such example is a non-profit venture that seems a barber shop double as a place for men to color to talk about their problems. A similar program is forming in the UK, where NHS and the UK Public Health Service launched in an initiative in 2020 to provide mental health first aid training for barbers. Barbers have been practicing their trade for thousands of years, but it's only as the world has become increasingly aware of mental health that barbers have been acknowledged for often taking on the role of therapist, listening to their customers' problems with an empathetic ear. Barbers are often independent, passionate entrepreneurs who work tirelessly to keep their customers happy and their business growing. It's a lot to take on, and so Alan Wilmot, a director of behavioral health, has been quoted as saying that getting a haircut can make a person feel better and improve their mental health instantly. Barbers are passionate about what they do. It is one of the reasons they commit to working hard to build a successful career. The house can be long and sometimes unsociable, but it's a career that encourages independence and creativity. So reach out to your barber, take some time for yourself and talk to people in the industry. The average person has been going to the same barber for the past 7 years. We are almost loyal to our barbers. Estimates suggest that the average barber has 80 to 100 clients per day, or sometimes, per week as well. A study from 2016 revealed that 72% of the barbers in the US are self-employed. There are 140,000 businesses providing barbershop services in the United States, and the competition is also quite high. The average barber works 44 hours per week. Many consumers are loyal to their barbers and see them as an extension of their circle of family and friends. Your barber is, after all, someone who helps you to transform and feel fresh. It is good to show them that you appreciate them and let them know that you care. Barbers are so great at lending a sympathetic ear to our problems that it is easy to forget that they have their own problems too. In establishing National Barber Mental Health Awareness Day, Booksy created a safe space for barbers to open up and discuss those problems. Being a barber is one of those professions that lend itself to doing a lot of listening. Barbers have a lot of back and forth with their customers, but a desire to keep the client happy doesn't always marry well with the opening up and about your own problems. So this day is here to let barbers know that they have a voice and it's okay to say they are struggling. Today is also commemorated as National Asian and Pacific Islander HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. It was first observed in 2005. It falls during Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. It was founded by Banyan Tree Project with support of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The aim is to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS in the Asian and Pacific Islander communities. This helps prevent HIV and also helps those who are currently living with HIV. The day helps to break the silence and remove some of the stigma attached to HIV and AIDS in Asian and Pacific Islander communities. Today is also commemorated as Hepatitis Testing Day in US. Every year on May 19th to raise awareness and encourage people to find out whether they have viral hepatitis, which is an inflammation of the liver that can lead to a variety of health complications, including liver cancer. Hepatitis virus strains A, B, C, D, and E are the most common types found in the population. Hepatitis B and C taken together are leading cause of mortality, accounting for 1.3 million fatalities each year worldwide. To save lives, we must do our part to enhance preventive testing and awareness to do your part and get tested. Hepatitis Testing Day is an essential opportunity for people from all sectors of the society to educate their constituents and communities about viral hepatitis and encourage those who are at risk to be tested. And this day was established as a national holiday in 2013 after first being commemorated in 2012 to raise awareness about the silent pandemic of viral hepatitis in the United States. Hepatitis B affects the estimated 8,62,000 people, whereas hepatitis C affects an estimated 2.4 million people. The majority of hepatitis B affects an estimated 8,60,000 people, whereas hepatitis C affects an estimated 2.4 million people. The majority of persons who have chronic hepatitis B virus or hepatitis C virus do not have symptoms until the later stages of the infection. As a result, many Americans living with hepatitis are unaware that they are afflicted, putting them at risk for serious, even fatal complications, as well as spreading the virus to others. Untreated chronic viral hepatitis is a primary cause of liver cancer and most prevalent reason for liver transplantation in the United States. Is hepatitis B Fortunately, safe and effective oral treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C in as little as I said to 12 weeks. Today is also commemorated as Frog Jumping Jubilee Day. This Today is also commemorated as celebrate your elected officials day. Elected officials or delegates include city council members, mayors, governors, members of state legislatures, senators, representatives in the United Nations, United States Congress, or any parliament for that matter, and even the President of the United States. They have occupied their powerful positions in the government because you and I voted them to power. In any democracy, the role of voters is as much as not important until saying. Today is also commemorated as May Day. With the change in weather, checks out how you can make most of the May. Today is also commemorated as National Pizza Party Day, which is a good time and your opinions and options are plentiful. So with this, we complete commemorations for today. And from tomorrow onwards, there will not be webinar series for 3 days. As for 3 days, we'll be having international conference on biodiversity. So we request everyone to register for the same. The links are available on the website. Request those who have not registered for today's webinar to quickly register. The form link has been shared in the chat box. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which is shared in the form of polls.